Hi, I'm Stefania Romano. I work for the Italian Ministry of the Environment. I'm seconded to an international organizational environmental, which is called Regional Environmental Center, which is based in Hungary, but it's present throughout Central and Eastern Europe, Turkey included. And within the scope of the Regional Environmental Center, we have been developing a specific project on the MENA region, fostering the stakeholders of the region towards green growth, mostly businessmen, because we have the awareness that in a way CEOs, engaged CEOs, can really mobilize the patterns towards green growth. The commitment is there, competence is there, but what is very much needed is to create a platform where they can put together their ideas and they can kind of walk the talk with the policymakers. This is certainly what is needed nowadays. The momentum is there, and the strong ambition and desire is there. So the way how we started it, we had already had missions on the spot, and we're just identifying partners and CEOs which want to be getting involved in the path towards green growth.
So this is an initiative by the Italian government to help other countries move towards a low-carbon economy. You mentioned MENA, which is Middle East and North Africa. How are you helping those countries to become low-carbon economies? Is it all about renewables?
It's mostly about renewables, certainly. We are mostly and rightly facilitating dialogues, discourses, having them together and brainstorm about what is needed. So what we are doing right now is to be understanding the needs of the region. Certainly they have cultural differences, but very much the environmental needs are there and very much similar, in fact, such as water scarcity, such as the need of putting the more, let's say, international scope their needs. And that's that's how we are facilitating, putting them together, and having the discourse being facilitated.
How can this initiative demonstrate how other countries might act at these talks? Do you think it could give confidence to move towards tougher mitigation targets?
Exactly, that's the point. In a way, to get a model which is workable, which is practical, which is operational, which can be like a champion model also for the other regions. That's why we want to very much focus on a specific region, because then, if it's successful, and we really much fight for it to be successful, it can become a model also for other regions. Definitely and clearly, mitigation and adaptation are expensive, for sure, but inaction is much more expensive at economic levels, environmental levels, and especially human terms.
Having seen how it can act, are you frustrated at how slowly the talks are going? Do you think they could progress a bit faster if more action like this is taken?
Well, that's a very good question. Let's say that the motif and the buzzword of this very COP is I care. There is a lot of frustration, very frankly speaking. I guess not only from politicians, but mostly for those people who are there and suffering from the effects of climate change. We have seen what has happened in the Philippines. Nowadays, today as well, there were problems in Sardinia, in Italy. Frustration, it's not only frustration, it's like severe conditions where normal people are put, it's there. And that's why I think that these international processes are very important, because they are bringing people together discussing. But now I care should become I do. That should be a must.